Before we answer the main question, why doesn't God destroy Satan? We need to clear up three common misunderstandings. First, Satan is not the king of hell. He doesn't rule over fire and demons. According to the Bible, hell is a place of punishment, and Satan himself will be punished there too. Second, Satan doesn't have a fixed form. He can appear terrifying, but more often, he appears as something attractive. That's how he deceives people. Third, Satan is not as powerful as God. He is a created being, which means he has limits. He cannot defeat God, and even his actions happen only with God's permission. So if God is stronger, why let Satan continue? That's the real topic of this video. The answer isn't simple. It involves human free will, the timing of judgment, and God's greater plan. In the next few minutes, we'll explore that more deeply. But first, please like and subscribe The Bible Witness for more scripture reveal. Now, let's get started. Why did God allow Satan to rebel? One of the most difficult questions in theology is this: if God knew Satan would rebel, why did he create him at all? The answer goes back to the core of who God is and what he values most: love. Love cannot be forced. Worship that is programmed has no meaning. God did not want machines or mindless followers. He wanted relationships built on choice. That's why he gave angels and humans the ability to say yes or no. Without freedom, there is no love. God knew what would happen, but he still chose to create him. He valued love so highly that he allowed even Satan to exist with the power to choose. That choice gave meaning to obedience and value to worship. God allowed the possibility of betrayal to preserve the reality of love. In contrast, Islam teaches that angels have no free will. According to the Quran, they are created to obey God automatically and are incapable of disobedience. This belief is not only theologically flawed, but also shallow. It reflects a view of creation where obedience is forced, not chosen, where submission replaces relationship and worship loses its meaning. Christian theologians, especially in Catholic tradition, have long criticized this concept as a misunderstanding of true love and divine purpose. By removing free will from angels, Islamic doctrine reduces them to lifeless tools, not moral beings. This view stands in direct opposition to the biblical truth that God values love born from freedom, not obedience without choice. Muslims, in holding to such a framework, reject the deeper reality of a God who desires relationship, not robotic praise. Why didn't God destroy Satan? So now we get to answer the main question of this video: why God doesn't just destroy Satan right away. If God is all-powerful, why allow him to keep operating? The answer requires looking at what the Bible actually says about Satan's role, nature, and function in God's larger plan. The first time Satan appears clearly in the Bible is not in the Garden of Eden, but in the book of Job. The scene is set in heaven. God is meeting with the sons of God, a term used in the Old Testament for heavenly beings. Among them is Satan. He's part of the meeting. This detail is important. It tells us that Satan, at this point, still operates within the framework of God's authority. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan also came among them. The Lord said to Satan, "From where have you come?" Satan answered the Lord and said, "From going to and from on the earth, and from walking up and down on it." Job 1:6-7. That response gives us a clear view of his territory and focus. He doesn't mention any throne, army, or kingdom. He doesn't mention hell. He talks only about walking on the earth, which means his activity is centered on human life and behavior. When God brings up Job, Satan questions Job's loyalty. He claims Job only fears God because his life is good. In that moment, Satan plays the role of an accuser. He's not attacking Job physically. He's making a case against him, challenging his integrity. This shows that Satan's function includes testing people and questioning their motives. God allows the test to happen, but within limits. Satan cannot act freely. He needs permission. This means that Satan, even after his rebellion, is still under God's control. And God chooses to allow Satan to function in this limited role, not to support evil, but to let truth be revealed. Satan is used to expose what is hidden. His opposition forces real choices. His accusations create opportunities to prove what is genuine. This is not random. It's part of God's system of justice. Like the parable Jesus told about the wheat and the weeds are allowed to grow until the harvest, because removing them too early could harm the good crop. The same principle applies to Satan's presence. Another reason Satan is not destroyed is because of his nature. He is a spirit being. Spirits do not die like humans do. Angels are not physical. They do not decay or age. God does not simply kill spirit beings. Instead, judgment is pronounced at a set time. God is perfectly just. No being, not even Satan, is removed without proper judgment. That judgment has not yet happened. It is still in the future. Revelation speaks clearly about a final day when Satan will be judged and cast into the lake of fire. Until that day comes, God allows Satan to exist under limits. There is also the matter of free will. God gives his creatures, including angels and humans, the ability to choose. Lucifer chose rebellion. A third of the angels followed. Humans choose daily between good and evil. If God had erased Satan immediately, it would eliminate the choice but not prove the truth. God does not force love or obedience. Real loyalty must be chosen freely. Fear-based submission is not what God desires. By allowing Satan to exist temporarily, God shows the long-term difference between truth and lies, obedience and pride. Finally, the Bible indicates that the ongoing conflict between good and evil teaches not only humans, but all creation. Paul writes that we are a spectacle to angels. In other words, what happens on earth is being watched by heaven. If God had destroyed Satan instantly, other creatures would not have seen the true outcome of rebellion. Now they see it unfold over time. In summary, God does not destroy Satan immediately because 1. Satan still serves a testing role under God's authority. 2. Spiritual beings are not erased but judged. 3. God's justice requires due process. 4. Free will must be preserved. And 5. Even evil actions are used to accomplish good in God's larger plan. Satan's defeat is certain. His time is limited. But until the final judgment, his role continues, under permission, within boundaries, and never outside the control of God. God does not remove beings the moment they fail. He does not erase those who disobey just because they fall short. His love is not based on performance. It is based on who he is. God's love gives time for change. It is not rushed. It is not impulsive. That love is patient, but it does not ignore evil. Satan is not kept alive because God accepts rebellion. He is allowed to remain because God has a plan that will demonstrate his love, his patience, his justice, and his complete authority. In this plan, Satan becomes a tool for revealing the difference between light and darkness, truth and deception, loyalty and pride. Still, judgment is certain. The Bible says clearly that a final judgment is coming. God has set a time for it. Until then, he delays punishment to allow choice, learning, and clarity. But he does not forget. Satan, his angels, and all who reject the truth will be judged. The great white throne is not a symbol. It is a real event that will happen. God's judgment is not just punishment. It is restoration. Evil will be removed. Order will be restored. God is not simply ending rebellion. He is repairing everything it damaged. He will bring creation back to what it was meant to be. That is justice, not just retribution, but renewal. At the cross, Jesus already defeated sin and broke Satan's authority. The final sentence has been spoken. Satan is not fighting to win. He is resisting the judgment that is already written. He has lost. His time is running out. Because of that, believers do not need to fear. They are called to remain faithful. God is not slow. He is exact. Every delay has purpose. Every action is part of a bigger design. His love is steady. His patience is controlled. His justice is unstoppable, and his victory is not something we hope for. It is something already guaranteed. This is not just the story of Satan. It is the story of a God who never loses control, who judges with truth, who waits with purpose, and who always finishes what he begins. Who is Satan? So who is Satan really, and why is he against God? According to the Bible, Satan wasn't always evil. He was once an angel named Lucifer, created by God with beauty and power. But over time, he became proud and wanted to rise above his creator. He didn't want to serve, he wanted to rule. That desire led him to rebel against God. As a result, he was cast out of heaven and became Satan, the enemy of God and mankind. His story explains where evil came from and why the battle between good and evil continues to this day. Before his fall, heaven was a realm of perfect harmony. Every angel had a purpose, and together they praised their Creator in eternal unity. The heavenly host was ordered in ranks. The seraphim closest to God burned with love and sang, "Holy, holy, holy." The cherubim protected divine mysteries. The archangels, like Michael and Gabriel, acted as messengers and warriors, and other angels watched over humanity, guiding and protecting them. Above them all stood Lucifer, the light-bringer. He was created with unmatched beauty, wisdom, and power. His name reflected his role, bringing light and leading worship. As head of heaven's choirs, his voice inspired awe, and his presence radiated the Creator's glory. Among the angels, none shone brighter. But his brilliance became a double-edged gift. The admiration he received, his authority and his beauty stirred something deeper: pride. Though still a servant, he began to crave more. While heaven remained peaceful, a silent shift was taking place. Beneath the surface of heaven's brightest star, the first shadows of rebellion began to grow. Turning to dark side, Lucifer's journey from light to darkness began with a thought, subtle and almost imperceptible at first. As the most radiant and powerful of all God's creations, he was admired by the hosts of heaven. But with admiration came self-awareness, and with self-awareness a question: what if my brilliance could surpass even that of my Creator? It started as a whisper in his mind, a spark of pride ignited by his unmatched beauty and authority. The Bible hints at this transformation. Your heart became proud on account of your beauty, and you corrupted your wisdom because of your splendor. Over time, that pride grew, feeding a desire not just to serve, but to ascend above. Lucifer began to question the nature of his role. Why, he wondered, should he, the brightest of stars, remain subordinate? Why should his unmatched light always reflect God's glory rather than shine independently? These thoughts, though quiet, took root and began to shape his actions and demeanor. He distanced himself from the joyous unity of heaven, becoming introspective and enigmatic. His once pure devotion to leading the heavenly choirs transformed into a restless ambition. Other angels noticed his change, sensing a growing tension in their once perfect harmony. What began as a flicker of pride soon became a consuming flame. Lucifer envisioned a throne for himself, one that would rise above the stars of God. This spark of pride marked the beginning of his rebellion, the first crack in heaven's perfect peace, the final straw. The turning point came with a divine revelation. God would create humanity, beings of both spirit and flesh, formed in his own image. But more than that, he revealed a mystery long hidden in heaven. He himself would one day take on human form as the Messiah, entering the world to redeem it. Most angels stood in awe, moved by the depth of God's compassion, but for Lucifer it was a wound to his pride. To bow before mortal creatures, to serve beings of dust and bone, he could not accept it. Worse still, the idea that God would lower himself, become one of them, was, to Lucifer, a desecration of divine majesty. Pride turned to anger. Anger hardened into contempt. Why should flawed creatures receive such love, while he, the most radiant of all, was denied the throne? In his eyes, the incarnation was not a triumph of mercy, but a humiliation of glory. He could not bear it. He would not bow. In that moment, the decision was made. Lucifer, once the morning star, would rather fall from heaven than serve what he saw as lesser beings. The light within him twisted. His voice, once leading heaven's praise, now echoed with defiance. The seeds of rebellion had fully bloomed, and the harmony of heaven trembled before the storm to come. Traitor speeches. Lucifer had made his choice. He would not bow. What began as silent pride became open rebellion. Once heaven's brightest light, he now stood against God's plan. To Lucifer, his beauty and wisdom weren't gifts to serve with, but proof he deserved a throne of his own, equal to or greater than God's. With his charm and authority, Lucifer began turning hearts. He questioned God's design. Why should beings of light serve creatures of dust? Are we not the truest image of divinity? His words, sharp and convincing, resonated. Many angels, once steadfast, began to waver. 1/3 of heaven's host listened. What Lucifer called rebellion, he framed as freedom, a chance to rise, not serve. No longer bound by duty, they dreamed of ruling beside him. But with growing followers came growing division. Heaven, once united, now trembled. The loyal angels looked on in grief as their brethren crossed a line that could not be uncrossed. Then came the moment of reckoning. Lucifer and his legion rose in open revolt, not just against God, but against the divine order itself. It was a cosmic war, born of pride that would tear the heavens and reshape eternity. Heaven or hell? The rebellion exploded with fury, shaking the foundations of heaven. On one side stood Lucifer and his legion, defying their maker. Opposing them were the faithful angels, led by Michael, resolute in loyalty to God. The battlefield was a realm where light clashed with shadow, where divine fire met proud defiance. Heaven, once filled with praise, now echoed with the thunder of war. Lucifer, still radiant but corrupted, rallied his army with promises of freedom and dominion. "We are the true bearers of light," he declared. "Why kneel when we were born to rise?" Michael, though less grand in appearance, stood firm. His voice rose. "Who is like God?" That cry, his name, his truth, cut through the noise. It became the banner of heaven's loyal host, a reminder that no created being could rival the Creator. The battle was fierce. The rebels fought with passion and ambition, but the loyal angels fought with purpose, empowered by divine truth. With each clash, light overcame darkness. At last, justice prevailed. One by one, the rebels fell. Their brilliance dimmed. Lucifer, the morning star, was cast down, his throne shattered, his glory undone. The number 666. Even after his fall, Satan continued to influence humanity through temptation and deception. His main goal became leading people away from God. One of the strongest symbols linked to him is 666, called the number of the beast in the book of Revelation. It's often seen as the opposite of divine perfection, which is symbolized by the number 7. While 7 represents completeness, 666 represents corruption and rebellion. Some legends claim 666 adds up to 18 virgin angels whose sacrifice could resurrect Satan. These myths reflect fear and fascination with evil, even if unfounded. Interestingly, 666 also appears in science and history. Carbon, the basic element of life, has 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons. Some researchers have pointed to a 666-day pattern behind major events, like the start of World War I, the Great Kanto earthquake, and the Hiroshima bombing. In modern times, fear of 666 remains. Athletes have refused to wear it. Tech companies avoided using 666 megahertz in processors. People still avoid the number in license plates and IDs. But for some, 666 became a symbol of rebellion. In 1966, Anton LaVey founded the Church of Satan, promoting rituals that rejected traditional religion. His followers, often outcasts, believed Satan offered power and freedom. Some even committed violent acts in his name, grave desecration, murder, and human sacrifice. Some Satanists claim their beliefs aren't evil. They argue that while God killed many in the Bible, e.g. the flood, Sodom, Egypt's firstborn, Satan only tempts people. They act on their own. This idea has led to disturbing crimes. In France, students stabbed a corpse in a satanic ritual. In Germany, a couple murdered their friend and drank his blood, believing it pleased Satan. Satan's influence also appears in alleged demonic possession. Psychiatrist Dr. Richard Gallagher investigated such cases for decades. Some people showed knowledge, languages, and strength beyond normal explanation. Gallagher concluded that not all cases were mental illness. Some pointed to real spiritual influence. The final judgment. In the book of Revelation, Lucifer, now known as Satan, is portrayed as the great dragon and ancient serpent, leading humanity into deception and rebellion. He becomes the central enemy in the final spiritual conflict between good and evil. Revelation describes Satan as the ancient serpent called the devil, who misleads the entire world. He acts through 2 main agents, the beast, representing political or oppressive powers, and the false prophet, symbolizing corrupted religious authority. These 2 enforce worship of the beast, deceive people with false miracles, and establish control through fear. The mark of the beast, 666, is introduced as a sign of loyalty to Satan. Those who accept it reject God and align themselves with Satan's final judgment. Though Satan appears powerful, his rule is temporary. He is bound for 1,000 years during Christ's reign, then released for one final rebellion. He gathers nations for war, but God defeats him. Fire from heaven destroys his forces, and Satan is thrown into the lake of fire along with the beast and the false prophet, where he is punished forever. The eternal condemnation. Lucifer's story ends in Revelation with his final defeat, bringing closure to a long history of rebellion. Once the most exalted angel, his fall became a warning about pride and disobedience. Revelation confirms that evil is temporary and that God's justice will prevail. As Satan, the great dragon, Lucifer misleads nations during the tribulation, causing chaos and testing human faith. But his influence is short-lived. After the beast and the false prophet are cast into the lake of fire, Satan's last attempt at rebellion fails. God's judgment comes swiftly. Fire from heaven destroys his forces, and Satan is thrown into the lake of burning sulfur forever. His defeat is more than punishment. It clears the way for God's promises to be fulfilled. Revelation ends with the creation of a new heaven and earth, where God lives with his people and sorrow no longer exists. Lucifer's rebellion becomes a lasting reminder of the cost of opposing God and of the power of divine mercy. Have you ever found yourself awake in the stillness of the night, staring at the clock between 1 and 5 a.m.? Does it feel like more than just a coincidence? You're not alone. Across the world, countless people experience this phenomenon. For centuries, cultures and traditions have viewed these moments as deeply meaningful, often believing that the universe, or something greater, is trying to reach out. Spiritually, this time is often called the Hour of the Soul, when the barrier between the physical and spiritual realms is thought to be at its thinnest. It's seen as the perfect time for prayer, meditation, or reflecting on life's deeper questions. On the other hand, science suggests that these awakenings align with our natural sleep cycles. During this time, your brain might be processing memories, working through emotions, or subtly preparing your body for the day ahead. In this video, we'll explore both the spiritual and scientific meanings behind these quiet hours. Why do so many cultures revere them? How can they bring you clarity and growth? Whether you see these moments as divine whispers or the result of fascinating biology, they carry a profound significance. If this topic resonates with you, be sure to like and subscribe for more insights. Let's uncover the mysteries of these sacred nighttime hours together. The power of nighttime awakenings. Waking up in the middle of the night feels uniquely different from rising at any other time, as if the stillness carries a hidden significance. These quiet hours, particularly between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m., have been regarded across cultures as sacred, a time when the spiritual and physical realms are most closely aligned. It's during this calm that we're invited to pause, reflect, and connect in ways that feel deeply profound. Spiritually, this period is often referred to as the Hour of the Soul or the Hour of the Gods. Many believe it is a time when divine energy is strongest, making it an ideal window for prayer, meditation, or simply being still and open to guidance. As Psalm 119:147 reminds us, I rise before dawn and cry for help. I have put my hope in your word. Passages like this underscore the spiritual importance of these hours as moments to deepen our connection with God or the universe. Scientifically, waking during this time aligns with natural sleep cycles. The body often transitions into lighter stages of sleep, making awakenings more likely. Hormonal changes also play a key role. As melatonin decreases and cortisol rises, the body begins its natural preparation for the day ahead. These physiological shifts heighten awareness and emotional clarity, creating a state that many associate with spiritual readiness. A deeper understanding of REM, rapid eye movement sleep, provides even greater insight into these awakenings. REM sleep is a critical stage of the sleep cycle, characterized by heightened brain activity, rapid eye movements, and vivid dreaming. This stage plays a vital role in emotional processing, problem-solving, and memory consolidation. When you wake during REM sleep, your mind is often engaged in working through unresolved emotions or complex ideas. This is why dreams during REM are frequently intense or symbolic, serving as a reflection of your inner thoughts and experiences. Waking during REM can feel especially profound because your brain is in a heightened state of creativity and introspection. It's as if the barriers between your conscious and subconscious mind are momentarily lifted, allowing you to access thoughts and feelings that might otherwise remain hidden. This unique state of awareness can leave you with a sense of clarity, inspiration, or even urgency to act on newfound insights. Whether you view these awakenings as divine invitations or natural occurrences, they hold incredible potential. They're a reminder to slow down and embrace the stillness, allowing space for clarity and deeper understanding. By seeing these moments as opportunities rather than interruptions, you can uncover their transformative power and connect with both yourself and the world around you. Now, Let's delve into the deeper meanings behind specific nighttime hours and explore how each time frame offers a unique opportunity to connect, grow, and transform. 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. Have you ever found yourself waking up between 1 and 2 a.m., wondering why? It might feel like an odd coincidence, but there's a deeper meaning to it. This hour often signals something stirring within you, an unresolved worry, an internal conflict, or emotions that you've been pushing aside during the day. It's as if your subconscious mind is calling out, urging you to face what's hidden. Take this quiet moment to ask yourself, what's been on my mind? Is there a fear or uncertainty weighing on me? Throughout history, waking during the night has been seen as a spiritually significant event. This particular hour is often described as a nudge to pause and reflect on your inner world. The stillness of the night has a way of amplifying your emotions, giving you the clarity to see what needs attention. Instead of dismissing it as a random occurrence, try viewing it as an opportunity to tune in to your heart and listen to what it has to say. Consider the story of Joseph of Nazareth. Imagine his inner turmoil upon learning that Mary, his betrothed, was pregnant before their marriage. Confused and distressed, Joseph must have felt lost, unsure of what to do. Then, during the night, an angel appeared to him in a dream and said, "Joseph, son of David, do not be afraid to take Mary as your wife, for the child conceived in her is from the Holy Spirit." Matthew 1:20. This divine message not only eased his fears, but also gave him the courage to trust in God's plan. When Joseph awoke, he acted on the angel's guidance, taking Mary as his wife. Matthew 1:24. Joseph's nighttime awakenings didn't end there. Later, another dream brought a warning. "Get up, take the child and his mother and escape to Egypt. Stay there until I tell you, for Herod is going to search for the child to kill him." Matthew 2:13. Thanks to Joseph's faith and immediate obedience, he was able to protect his family. After Herod's death, yet another dream instructed him to return to Israel. "Get up, take the child and his mother and go to the land of Israel, for those who are trying to take the child's life are dead." Matthew 2:20. Even then, Joseph was cautious, and a final dream led him to settle in Galilee to ensure his family's safety. Matthew 2:22. These moments remind us of the importance of being open to spiritual guidance, especially during times of uncertainty. So, the next time you find yourself awake during this hour, don't simply try to fall back asleep. Use it as a moment to reconnect with yourself, or if you feel called, with God. A simple prayer or meditation can help calm your mind and bring clarity. You might say, "Lord, guide me through my confusion and grant me peace in my heart." Writing down your thoughts in a journal can also be incredibly powerful. Often, putting pen to paper helps bring hidden worries into the light. This hour is an invitation to be honest with yourself. Maybe unresolved emotions or memories are rising to the surface, asking for closure. Embrace the stillness and use this sacred time to seek understanding, just as Joseph did. In these quiet moments, you too can find clarity, strength, and peace. 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. As the night progresses, the body transitions into another crucial phase. 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. Waking up between this time can feel unsettling, but it might be your body and soul trying to tell you something important. This hour is often linked to physical and emotional vulnerability. In traditional Chinese medicine, this time is associated with the liver, an organ responsible for detoxifying your body. If your liver is under strain or your emotions are unbalanced, It's possible you'll wake during this hour. Feelings like anger, frustration, or resentment, often stored in the liver, could be surfacing as a gentle nudge for you to pay attention to your health and emotions. Take a moment to reflect. Have you been feeling overwhelmed or stressed? Are there unresolved issues that might be weighing you down? This is your opportunity to recognize and address these emotions. The stillness of the night provides a perfect backdrop for you to focus on healing both physically and emotionally. The Bible offers a powerful story of King Hezekiah that ties into this theme. Hezekiah, gravely ill and on the brink of death, turned to God in desperate prayer. "Remember, Lord, how I have walked before you faithfully and with wholehearted devotion, and have done what is good in your eyes," he cried out with tears. Isaiah 38:3. God heard his heartfelt plea and sent the prophet Isaiah back to deliver a new message. "I have heard your prayer and seen your tears. I will add 15 years to your life." Isaiah 38 verse 5. This story reminds us of the power of faith and the importance of turning to God in moments of physical and emotional struggle. If you wake during this time and feel restless or uneasy, try to calm your mind and body. Begin with a prayer for healing and guidance. You might say something like, "Lord, I surrender my pain and worries to you. Grant me the strength to face my challenges and the wisdom to care for my health." Deep breathing or light stretching can also help release tension and refocus your energy. This hour is a sacred reminder to care for yourself. Whether it's your physical body needing rest and detoxification or your emotional self seeking peace and resolution, take this time to nurture both. Like Hezekiah, trust that your prayers and intentions can lead to renewal and healing, even in the quietest hours of the night. Now, let's take a look at the next hour. 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. If you often find yourself waking between 3 and 4 a.m., take it as more than just a random event. This unique moment, often called the Hour of the Gods or the Witching Hour, is widely believed to be a time when the veil between the physical and spiritual worlds is at its thinnest. It's a sacred window where you are more open to connecting with God, the universe, and even your inner self. Across many cultures and spiritual traditions, this hour holds significant meaning as a time of heightened energy and insight. During this hour, your subconscious mind is incredibly active. You may notice that your thoughts are clearer, and if you've been dreaming, those dreams might feel vivid and filled with meaning. It's believed that this unique state of receptiveness allows you to experience clarity, gain inspiration, or even have moments of spiritual awakening. Many spiritual teachers emphasize that waking at this time is an invitation to engage in prayer, meditation, or deep reflection, a chance to step away from the noise of the day and focus on your relationship with the divine. For example, consider the story of Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane. This critical moment, recounted in Matthew 26, happened under the cover of night. Jesus, fully aware of the immense sacrifice ahead, prayed deeply to the Father. His words, "My Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me. Yet not as I will, but as you will," illustrate the power of surrender and trust. In his most vulnerable hour, Jesus sought strength and clarity through prayer, showing us the profound importance of turning to God during times of challenge. So what should you do when you wake up during this special hour? Begin by calming your mind and focusing your energy. Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and offer a heartfelt prayer. Whether it's the Lord's Prayer or a simple plea for guidance, speaking to God during this time can bring profound peace and direction. If you've just had a dream, jot it down in a journal. Dreams during this hour are often vivid and may carry meaningful messages or insights. If prayer isn't what you feel drawn to, try sitting in quiet meditation. Focus on your breath or repeat a spiritual affirmation that resonates with you. This practice can help you tune into the divine energy that surrounds you during this hour. Embrace the moment as a gift, a time to reflect on your life and set positive intentions for the future. Remember, waking at this hour is not a coincidence. It's an invitation, a sacred nudge to turn inward and connect with something greater than yourself. Use this time to pause, listen, and act on what your heart and soul are guiding you toward. And if you need guidance, here's a prayer you can say: Heavenly Father, in the stillness of this sacred hour, I come to you with an open heart. Thank you for this moment of peace and clarity. Illuminate my path, strengthen my faith, and grant me the wisdom to understand your will. As I face the challenges of life, remind me of your constant presence and unwavering love. I surrender my fears and doubts to you, trusting in your divine plan. Guide me, Lord, and let your light shine through me. Amen. 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. As the dawn approaches, the significance of 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. unfolds, marking a time for renewal and setting intentions for the day ahead. This is the hour of transition, a time when the world is on the brink of a new day. Spiritually, it symbolizes renewal, hope, and fresh beginnings. If you find yourself awake during this hour, it could be a sign that your soul is inviting you to embrace change and prepare for a new chapter in your life. The calm and stillness of this pre-dawn hour create the perfect environment for self-reflection and intention setting. Many spiritual practices regard this time as sacred, offering an opportunity to connect deeply with God or the universe. You may feel a sense of clarity or a renewed energy that signals it's time to let go of the past and focus on what lies ahead. A profound example of renewal and hope from the Bible is the resurrection of Jesus. Early in the morning, as the first light of dawn broke, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary went to Jesus' tomb and found it empty. An angel appeared to them, saying, "Do not be afraid, for I know that you are looking for Jesus who was crucified. He is not here. He has risen, just as he said." Matthew 28:5-6. This pivotal moment in Christian faith symbolizes the ultimate rebirth and the promise of new life. It's a powerful reminder that every dawn carries the potential for transformation. If you wake during this time, take a few moments to focus on your intentions for the day. Begin with a prayer or meditation to align your heart and mind with positivity and purpose. You might say, "Lord, thank you for the gift of this new day. Guide me to use it wisely and to grow in love, faith, and hope." Reflect on any areas of your life where you seek renewal or change, and trust that this hour carries the energy to support those transformations. Engaging in light activity, such as gentle stretching or journaling, can help you transition from the quiet of the night to the promise of the day. Write down your goals or express gratitude for the opportunities ahead. This is a time to embrace the calm and prepare yourself mentally and spiritually for the day's journey. Remember, waking at this hour is not random. It's an invitation to pause and recognize the beauty of beginnings. Just as Jesus' resurrection marked a new dawn for humanity, your awakening during this time can signify your readiness to leave behind what no longer serves you and step boldly into the light of new possibilities. The role of dreams in nocturnal awakenings. Delving into the meanings behind specific nighttime hours reveals the deep and intricate relationship between waking moments and the insights gained through dreams. Dreams have often been described as windows to the soul, offering insights into both our subconscious minds and the spiritual realms. When we wake up in the middle of the night, particularly during the REM stage of sleep when dreams are most vivid, it can leave us with powerful emotions or clear recollections that feel deeply significant. For generations, such moments have been seen as opportunities to interpret messages, gain divine guidance, or process hidden emotions. In the Bible, dreams play a crucial role in pivotal events. For example, Joseph in Genesis interpreted dreams that revealed God's plans, ultimately saving Egypt from famine, Genesis 41:15 through 16. Likewise, in Matthew 1:20, an angel appeared to Joseph, the earthly father of Jesus, in a dream, urging him to take Mary as his wife. These examples highlight the idea that dreams can carry profound spiritual messages, especially when they coincide with nighttime awakenings. From a psychological perspective, dreams allow the mind to process emotions, resolve problems, and consolidate memories. Waking during or after a dream can bring unresolved issues to the forefront or spark creative breakthroughs. Many famous artists and inventors have credited their dreams for inspiring transformative ideas. Spiritually, waking after a vivid dream can be a call to reflect and pray. Keeping a journal nearby to record dream details, recurring themes, symbols, or emotions can uncover areas for growth or divine communication. Ultimately, dreams highlight the intricate connection between the spiritual and the subconscious. Whether viewed as divine messages or the mind's way of navigating life's complexities, dreams have the power to transform our waking lives, urging us to seek meaning and align with their wisdom. Waking up during the night, especially between 1 and 5 a.m., is more than just a disruption to your sleep. It's a sacred invitation, a moment for self-reflection, spiritual connection, and personal renewal. These quiet hours carry a profound significance, offering opportunities to tune into your inner self, confront unresolved emotions, and draw closer to God or the universe. Each hour between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. holds its own unique energy and message. Waking between 1 and 2 a.m. may point to unresolved worries or decisions needing clarity, while 2 to 3 a.m. often signals a call to address physical or emotional healing. The hour of 3 a.m. to 4 a.m., sometimes called the hour of the gods, is a time for deep spiritual connection and receiving divine guidance. Finally, 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. marks the transition into a new day, symbolizing hope, rebirth, and the opportunity for transformation. Consider the biblical stories of Joseph and King Hezekiah, who received life-changing guidance during the night, or Jesus, who found strength in prayer during the darkest hours. These accounts remind us of the immense potential that lies within these moments. Whether it's through prayer, meditation, journaling, or simply sitting in quiet contemplation, these nighttime awakenings are a gift, a chance to step away from the distractions of the day and focus on what truly matters. The next time you find yourself awake during these hours, embrace it. Rather than feeling frustrated or restless, take it as an opportunity to listen to your own thoughts, to your emotions, and perhaps even to divine whispers. Ask yourself, what is this moment teaching me? How can I use this time to grow, heal, or renew my spirit? Remember, these awakenings are not coincidences. They are moments rich with meaning, offering you a chance to realign with your purpose, nurture your spirit, and find clarity in your path. Use them to set intentions, release what no longer serves you, and prepare yourself to embrace the light of a new day. Life is filled with interruptions, but some, like waking in the quiet hours of the night, are far more than they seem. These sacred moments hold the power to transform your life if you're willing to lean in, listen, and take action. So, the next time the stillness of the night awakens you, Don't turn away from it. Instead, step into its quiet embrace and discover the wisdom it holds. If you found this reflection meaningful, consider giving this video a like to let us know. Comment your opinions down below to discuss about this topic with us. Don't forget to share it with someone who might benefit from these insights and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and may your journey be blessed.